Greetings and God bless. Welcome back. So, something that I've been noticing is in patriot groups that I've uh, looked into lately, is they are New Age, and yet then they throw in something about Christianity. That they're into Christianity, sort of like what seems to be going on with Trump. Like he threw, so Christians are like, yeah, Trump's the guy. And then you look into Trump and like MAGA being the fifth degree of witchcraft and whatnot. So that's what I've been noticing. And the Christians who are involved with what seems to be a good political organization, they're just being manipulated, and willingly, they're like, I'm just going to trust that these people who are mixing the new age um, or whatever with Christianity, I'm just going to trust that it's all for the good. And I just am finding a problem with this because because the Bible tells us we're not supposed to mix anything. We're supposed to be a peculiar people. We're not supposed to be lukewarm. And, we're here to share the gospel. We're here to be ambassadors for Christ. And so it's important for us to interact with other people. But what I notice of the Christians who are in these like new age movements, new age political movements, is the Christians are keeping their mouth quiet while people are pontificating about the new age, about consciousness, about Lynn McTaggart's, the experiment she describes in the book, The Field. And like, this is what I notice about Christians and conservatives is they're giving so much of the benefit of the doubt to people who are poaching them from the true Christian community or from the true conservative community. Because that's what I'm wondering. I'm thinking that this Marxist leftist attack that's been going on in the U.S. It's targeting Christians, it's targeting the heartland, it's targeting the Americans who have lived in the same place for 3 generations. Because I saw this when I was in uh, I really saw it when I was uh, in Montana and South Dakota and here in Arkansas. So, because what happens is the established people, they just want to be established. The people who are wealthy want to keep whatever status quo that made them wealthy, and so they may say that they're conservative, but it seems like there's a lot of people, and including those on the left, that are authoritarian. They just want to follow who's in charge, not what's right, but who's just in charge. Because I think they believe in nepotism, that if they support who's in charge, then the person in charge is going to take care of them. It's sort of like this mafia mentality, I guess. I don't know. I'm no expert, but this is just what I'm observing. And so I'm noticing Christians and conservatives just, biting their tongues, or even being oblivious when somebody is literally casting wicked spells on everybody. When like conservatives and Christians are so naive, they don't realize that they're being brainwashed. And I'm somebody who will speak out, but it's in order to have an effect. You have to excuse me. You have to have some support, and yeah. So unfortunately, I think a lot of Christians and a lot of conservatives are giving the leftists that are infiltrating them. I think they're giving the leftists the benefit of the doubt. They're giving these new age pagans the benefit of the doubt, these Satanists the benefit of the doubt. And the Satanists are like, yay, You know, we can just bombard these Christians and conservatives with our rhetoric, with our witchcraft spells, and these Christians are just they're not gonna know what hit them, and that's why we're here in August of 2024 with creepy things going on in our country and around the world. And that is not to say that people's prayers aren't going to protect them, but um, clearly, being a naive Christian and a naive conservative, like that hasn't worked because so many people are not able to finance their lives as they need in trafficking. Like it's because I like there's all these people, all these travel videos, and like all these people traveling, and they don't look wealthy. I mean, they don't look like they were brought up, you know, as kings and queens or something like that. So I'm like, how are all these people um, that are from a third world country? How are they traveling to England and, having that $300 a night to spend at the hotel, and that those thousands of dollars for the whole family to take a plane to England, and all I can think of is it's human trafficking or drug trafficking, like because the people I know here in America, they're not traveling to Europe. They're not even necessarily traveling across country to visit family and friends. Like I see all these travelers do, what? Even when I'm in a tourist trap kind of a place, I'm like, how are these people able to afford this? Like if they're working people, like um, so, anyways, I am wondering if we're just seeing like what the real economy is, and um, but my point is that I think conservatives and Christians do need to be made aware of what the leftist does, and I think conservatives and Christians need to stand up and be like, this is, doing a pro-Marxist, like a hidden, like I was at a call, and this one guy who's facilitating the call I think he's a leftist. I think he's the one of the moderators, and I don't know why the other co-moderator does not do anything about it. But this guy is like a new age Marxist, and trying to shoot holes in like the Constitution, the implying it's like the establishment of this country was fraudulent because of the people who were here before. And uh, I mean, if we're going to do that, then I guess the establishment of England was fraudulent, and the establishment of Europe was fraudulent, and like, okay, well, so all of reality is fraudulent. Okay, so what do we do with that? How is that going to affect what's going on today with the elections and the World Economic Forum and WHO and all that? So, anyways, I really do think that people need to just uh, express, hey, that seems like you're coming from a leftist perspective, or but instead, like what I'm noticing about conservatives and Christians is they're just being quiet. They're just cowards, you know. And then if you speak up, you're considered like a troublemaker. And I mean, that's not what our country was based on. Our country was based on, look, when we rejected England, it was because there was like a 2% tax on us, and there's like a 30-40% tax on people. So like we have boundaries. When the South was rejecting the North at the Civil War, it was because the North wanted the South to pay more taxes than was fair. And I know everybody, like, whoever wins the war gets to write history. So I'm a Yankee. I'm from New York, and I was taught all my life that the South was evil, and full of rapists and lynch mobs and whatnot. But it was that the South was being unfairly taxed. And so, anyways, folks, please speak up. I mean, and I think like what happened is the conservatives and Christians who really could see the writing on the wall. I think they've all retreated out to the far reaches of this country, so they're not interacting, and they're not even probably on like conference calls for patriot groups and stuff like that. But we need somebody. We need people like intelligent people to speak up, and I would say men more so, because just women are more comfortable speaking up. But it's like men aren't saying anything, and I can understand, because then people are like, oh, he's being terrible or whatever. But that's why we need to know what's right. And then when a man is speaking up for what's right, we're like, oh, whew, somebody's speaking up for what's right. But it seems like conservatives and Christians don't know what's right anymore. So, anyways, I just wanted to say that if you're a conservative and a Christian and there's some weird new age Marxist leftist stuff infiltrating your church or your political group or whatever, like just know that's what it is. And like everybody's like, oh, you got to have an open mind and whatever. And I'm like, the Marxist stuff is not going to help America. It's never helped any country that it became a part of. So what do you guys think? Thanks for watching. God bless.